Hello guys and welcome back to Hey Manager Me Alex, and today we've got another tier list after the success of the previous one with the home kits. We're going to be doing the away kits. Thank you for all the feedback, all the support and the love from the first edition of this, I'd call it, the home kits. 280 sub-managers, as you can see here right now. Happy with our goal for the 300 by the end of this year, which is what we're aiming for. And today I've got you a list and a tier list of the new away kits of the Premier League club. So let's get into the action, shall we? Let's get this up on the screen. So we're going to start off with Arsenal. Now, just as a premise, not all the kits have been released so far. We do have a few released or leaked kits, should we call them, but we've got majority of the kits released. So I thought, why not? We've got 18 or 17 or 18 of the full 20. Why not get them in a tier list for now? So Arsenal have gone with this very nice kit. I've got to admit, it is a very, very nice kit. I think for me, this one is one of the nicer ones, I think. Now, they've gone with a bit of inspiration from, if I can find it, maybe inspiration from the 95-96 kit, which I think I've got a image of. If I could just flick through these, no, not flick through them, flick through these. Here we go. So we've got a bit of like a lightning pattern going, which is what was inspired by the Royal Arsenal Gatehouse. It is, and it's taken from, I think I've still got it here. There we go. There's the 95-96 kit, which looks quite nice. Bit of a split through the middle, separated by this lightning pattern. They then tried to replicate that a little bit more, but in the modern Arsenal way, the modern Adidas way, which I really like. I do actually like it. It's a bit of like a mirrored pattern with the lightning going through. It does look like a lightning bolt completely. I've got to say, I actually really like this kit. I think it's really spot on. So, if I had to choose one, I'll go into this one. Why not? We'll go into this one. If I had to choose, I'd probably put this into the nice kit, but a very high nice kit. I don't think it's gorgeous. I don't think there's much to it, but to me, looks pretty nice. So that's my first one. That's my first one going in there. The next one we've got along the way is going to be the Aston Villa kit. If I just show you that one on here as we go past Declan Rice. Aston Villa have gone for a bit more of like a, I'd want to say a grayscale type kit, really, where everything's sort of been greyed out. They've got a bit of a different pattern, like as you can see on there, a slight polka dot sort of effect. The Villa badge has gone grey, as you can see here, and then they've got the purple in the background, so you can it reflects across, and it looks a bit like a darker, deep, maybe like a burgundy colour, like a going into like a maroon, bit purpley, but it is pretty much grayscale in it. And the actual sleeves, if you look at the sleeves above me, that's based on the architecture that's in Birmingham right now, and that building's called the Bullring Modern. So that's, I think it's part of the actual train station as well. It's a station. But it's taken from that, as you can see there on the sleeves. If I just go back a little bit there, you can't really see on that one, but as you can see on the sleeves a little bit, they've got like almost like a cheese grater type pattern, and to me, I think it's an alright kit. I don't think it's anything special as we just look at the Bullring Bullring building there. I think, to me, I've got to admit, I think it's a nice kit. I don't think it's anything special, but I'll put it into decent for now. I think it's alright. There's a bit of thought gone behind it. That's the main one. That's the main one for these sort of videos. I want to see a bit of thought going behind some of these actual, like, you know, kits and the design behind them anyway. So, next up, and this is probably one of my favourite ones, we've got the Brentford kit. Now, after the absolute stinker they had of their first kit, which looked like something from the rugby league like 20 years ago, this one, now they've gone for the B-wing pattern in the background, as you can see. Bit more of like a structural B-wing pattern. It's not random. It's actually taken from, I believe, an actual B-wing. So they've managed to make that pattern diagonally through, which looks really clean. But then they've gone with like this metallic gold finish, which I think really offsets nicely against the brown, and it just looks so smart. As I say, like these kind of kits where can you wear it with, like, you know, your classic going out gear. So you want to see something that you can wear to a festival, or you can wear, I don't know, just casually with a pair of like jeans or chinos or smart smart shoes, something like the classic football goers would wear to a football game, because you're gonna have your shirt on and you're gonna wear something casual below, maybe even your cargo, something like that. You know what I mean? So that's the sort of kit where I look at that and go, you could wear that and you'd still feel a bit stylish. But also when they're playing with it on the kit, the full kit looks pretty clean as well, and looks like something that you'd be proud to see your team wearing. It's not so stylish that you think this is a bit of a gimmick, but it still looks really good. So to me, as you can see here, it looks so clean. This one's gonna go. This one to me, I've got to put it quite high up. I've got to put it quite high up because I really like it. And do I think it's gorgeous? I think for now I'll stick it in there. The brown colour is a bit off-putting with the way it is, but I'm pretty keen to put it in gorgeous, but it's a high nice. So I'll put it there for now. It could change. This isn't definite. I might go through other ones, but for now, that's the one I'm going to go for. Now, next up, we're going to have Brighton. I will not spend long on this kit. Their home kit was atrocious to me. It just didn't. This is next level. Now, when I had a look at this, I thought there's got to be some sort of purpley, this colour that they've gone for. It's got to be something like, replicate something of Brighton's history. There's got to be something there. No, it's a modern design image for the purple colours. They wanted to introduce a new colour. Don't know where they've pulled it from. There's no real background on it. They've then decided to make the Brighton Hove Albion black and white. I'm not really sure why. Maybe the accent with the black. I don't know if you can notice it. You can't really see it on my screen, but right at the bottom of the kit above, where I'm about pointing there, you can see the black authentic. Yeah, the authentic label. They tried to blend it in with that. I just don't think it looks great, and also it's very, very, very basic. This is something that you'd probably see in early 2000s, maybe earlier than that, where they just have a stripe down the middle and that's it. I don't think it's anything special. The Nike having their logo in the middle, I think they've centralized everything, but the Nike logo never looks nice when it's centered. I feel it's very difficult to get a very nice Nike logo centered. So I'd always split it out, or always have it somewhere else. But they've tried to do it. It's interesting, but to me, this needs to be burnt. This is one that immediately I just think needs to be burnt, and it's something that I just can't stand it. I cannot stand that. It's going to go in burnt, and that's where it's going to land. Because wow, absolutely disgraceful. Next up, and we're going to stick with just this because Burnley's been leaked. I haven't got a picture of it to put on the left hand side, but the Burnley kit's been leaked. I think it's all right. It's got obviously their sort of colours, their traditional. I think it's I want to say claret and blue, but I don't think it is. It's got the traditional colours on. Obviously, looking at that, it looks a bit off, like an off-whitish colour, maybe like a really light blue wash colour. I think it looks all right. I don't think it's anything special. I don't think it's anything like that. So really simply, I'm going to be putting that one in the decent lower half. I think it's all right. I like the blue and the stripes in the middle. I like how they separated out the crest there on each side. The logo looks a bit strange in the middle. I could probably put it into naff if I felt like it, but I think for now, I think just because, only and simply because it's a leaked image, I'll put it in decent, because I reckon it has the potential to look pretty nice in real life. So next up, we've got the Chelsea kit. Now, this looks really sleek, and I'm very, very intrigued as to where this has actually come from. So Chelsea's kit is this year, the away kit, is based on this kit, which is from the 74-75 away kit, which is based on a Hungarian flag, and it's called the Magnificent Magyars, I believe they're called, or Mayas. So these guys were like the big Belgian team, 75-76, which were 74-75, sorry, should I say, which were really good. Now, where the Hungarian aspect comes into it, I'm a bit lost. I've tried to do a bit of research on it. I can't find much, but I'm a bit lost as to where it comes from. But I think it looks really nice. The red and the green, the stripes down the middle is pretty sleek, I've got to admit. And if you look at the quick pattern that they've got on here, I actually quite like it. It looks really, really sleek. So to me, this is going to go. And, oh, as I zoom in on my face, bit of a jump scare for you there. This is going to go in the nice region. Lower than the Arsenal kit, but it's better than the Aston Villa kit. It's got to go in the nice region for me. I think, to be honest, it just looks a bit sleeker. It just looks a bit sleeker. So next up, we're going to get, as we try and plough through these, we've got another 10, 11 to go. Crystal Palace. So Crystal Palace's kit, I think it looks really smart. They've gone for this. They call this the Fred de Pool pattern, which is like all the embossed triangles, so it looks very interesting on the pitch. Looks a bit like camouflagey. Looks really cool, like the camouflage effect, should I say. So obviously, like to blend in with like different surroundings, like darker and lighter colours. But the actual colour itself is because they won the cup. They've gone for this gold colour because they have obviously won the FA Cup last year, which obviously Eagle Gold they've called it, which looks really nice. I actually quite like it. So again, another kit which is going to sit in the nice kits. It's going to sit just below the Chelsea one. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty nice. I'm going to put it there. I don't think it's. I think it's nicer than the Aston Villa kit, which is in the decent column. But to me, that yellow one's got to go in there. So that's that one for now. Next up is the Everton kit, which has not been released yet, but it is inspired by the 2010-11 Lecoq Sportive kit, which they brought out years ago, which is just pure cream. But they've got the actual leaked image above, as you can see from I think that's the Twitter account, the Kits Bale. I believe it is anyway. I can't really read that from here. But yeah, the cream kit, they've replicated it in at FIFA, or the EAFC 25. As you can see, that is what's his name now? I can't remember his name, but whoever it is, not Niarte. Oh wow, I've really lost. I forgot his name. That is not great. But they've replicated it in FIFA, and it looks pretty nice. And it's based on this kit. This is the what they call it, Lecoq Sportive kit, which is like the cream colour, but they've changed the hem on the the actual sleeves, which looks like the Potters, sort of the very tip of the Potters building within the actual logo itself, and then they've got two stripes on there as well. I think it looks pretty clean. I think it looks pretty nice. I would say, just before we go on to Leeds, I would say it goes in for me around about. I want to say it goes in the decent one, just above Aston Villa, because it's very basic. It's not really much to it, but to me, it needs to be up there anyway. So moving on then to the Leeds kit. Now this one is looking like a pretty good replica of the I think it's a 91-93 away kit it is, or the 2001-2003, sorry, third kit this is. So it's based on that one. It's got like these shiny hoops that go across the front of it, so it gives like this reflective sort of like vision to it. I really like there's Willie Nonto stood in it. I really like the yellow in it. The blue stands out against it. Again, links into the actual home kit, which had those like tiles as the hem on the sleeves. I think it looks quite nice. I've got to admit, I think it looks quite nice. So for me, that's got to go pretty high. It's got to go probably above the Crystal Palace kit for me. I just like the way they've blended it in, and it's got the real blue to it. You got the like the white of the Leeds for the home kit, and you got this really nice blue and yellow with the Red Bull logo across it. I think it looks pretty cool. So that's got to go in there for me around about there. Then the next one, and you'd probably think I'd be biased with this and say that I hate it, but as I need to try and just click on here. There we go. It's going to be the Manchester City kit. Now, I don't actually have a picture of this to put it above me, so we're going to have to stick with Leeds. But wow, this kit looks unbelievable. You can see Ruben Diaz in it there. You see Haaland in it there. This kit, when you talk about like fashion and being able to wear this just out and about, the black sleek look to it, it's got I think it's based on the actual first kit. Yeah, paying tribute to the club's first ever kit, which is black. It's got a silver trim on the collar. It's got a metallic coloured crest and also the logo, as well as the trim being like the same with the Puma. The actual Puma badge as well is this metallic. I think it looks unbelievable. I think this is such a nice kit. When they do all black kits, they did one for PSG a few years ago. Atletico Madrid did it as well. I think United had an all black kit. I can't remember, someone else had an all black kit as well. And wow, this one looks really sleek though. This one I can see people wearing out and about, and it has to be, for me, probably the best. I don't know why the kit isn't in there, but this one for me has to be up there, and it has to be the best for me. So yeah, definitely a big yes in my eyes. I think I might actually, in fact, have I skipped the Liverpool kit? I have. Sorry, there's the City kit. It comes in a nice little box. I think you can get like a something edition of it, which looks really nice. But I've missed out a kit, which is the Liverpool kit, which is above me. Now, this one's the leak. This is why I don't have any pictures of it, which makes sense. So it's an off-white leaked colour. So like this, like I guess, I don't know how you call it. Like when it's in the wash, it leaks. But this is also the leaked kit. Never mind me saying that. But I think this is pretty much spot on in terms of, because they've got pictures of it. It's just not been released yet. They have like the shield around the crest, so that it shows the Liverpool badge in more effect, which I quite like. It's very much like what someone else has done it as well. I can't remember the name of them. United did it years ago where they had like a crest around it, like a badge, like a shield. It looks quite nice. Do I think it's going to be, like, when it's actually released, look the best? I just think it looks a bit goofy with it, this shield type thing around it. I think sometimes it pulls off, sometimes it doesn't. I don't think this one pulls it off. It looks a bit like the Brest logo. So for me, if I had to say anything about the Liverpool one, it'd probably be decent, and it'd probably be just below the Everton one. Excuse me, purely because I just think the Everton detail on the hem looks a bit nicer. So that's where I'm going to be putting Liverpool's. Next up is Manchester. Oh, jump scare again. Is Manchester United. So I've skipped a few. We're going to get back onto the track now. So Manchester United's this year, they've gone with like this lavender and white colour away kit. Inspiration for the pattern itself is taken from the 1992 kit, which I can see how they've taken inspiration from it. It's like they've just like taken a small section of it and then enlarged it using the traditional logo. I think it looks okay. I don't think it's anything special in my opinion. I think the white and lavender, I think it's just a decent kit. I can't say much about it as we've gone on to Newcastle there. But for now, I'm going to stick that in decent. Where do I think it'll be? It'll probably be just about above the Aston Villa kit, maybe even below it, to be honest with you. There's nothing special around it. I like that Aston Villa, like how they've tried to take inspiration from that building. The Bull Ring building, they've taken that inspiration for the sleeves. With United's, there's not much to it on this one. The home kit had a bit of inspiration from the actual Old Trafford Stadium, but this one is a bit different. I'm not really the biggest fan of that. So, next up is going to be the Newcastle kit. Now, the Newcastle kit, it's interesting, isn't it? So, they've gone for these like stripes on the hoops, should I call it? The hoops when they go from left to right. When they go from up down, it's stripes. So they've got the hoops on here. Now the hoops are taken from the arch stripes of the Tyne Bridge, which you can see on the left. But then also they've gone for this green, which looks a bit like the goalkeeper kit, which is just throwing me a bit. Like to me, it's not really been, that well sort of incorporated or differentiated, should I say, from the green kit, which was the goalkeeper kit years ago, or the goalkeeper kit last year. But this team green is based on the Saudi green, because obviously the Saudi takeover, they've taken over Newcastle. So this is something that we're looking at. I think it looks alright, but to me, like, I just don't get the green. I get where it's coming from, but the green for Newcastle, like, Newcastle's black, white, and then they have, like, their own, like, purpley, sort of, the different type of colours they go for. This team green is like a new age green. I think there's not much to this kit, in all honesty. Again, it looks like a goalkeeper kit. So for me, this is actually going to go in naff. This is a bit naff. I think it's a bit meh. It's not for me. It really isn't for me. I don't think it's for many Newcastle fans either. They'll definitely be going for the home kit. That one is not. I'm not the biggest fan of. And the third kit looks a lot nicer. Let's just put it that way. I'll cover that in another video. So next up, we've got the Newcastle, the Nottingham Forest kit. Now, looks a bit more subtle, this one, and you must probably thinking, what's all that? There's a bit of a pattern to it. Looks a bit like a kit that you'd buy from like some random seller in the middle of a market that has just put a random pattern in the background, but it is actually taken from the historic lace industry in the lace market, as you can see in the image to the left. So the lace market, where as you can see, all the patterns have been interwoven. They've been taken from like a top-down view of all the bits next to each other. I think it looks quite nice. There's the lace market itself as well. So I think it looks quite nice. I think, you know, there's a bit of thought gone into it. Does it look a bit strange? I think it does. There's not really. They've just sort of gone pattern on a white background. There, have it. So to me, again, not something that I'm really that fond of. I think it's decent. I think there's a bit of thought behind it. I'd probably put it ahead of the Manchester United one just because of the thought and meaning behind it. But for me, yeah, it's not great. So I'm going to put it just a bit lower than the Aston Villa kit, but higher than the Manchester United one. So there we go. Next up, we've got Sunderland. So Sunderland kit, by the way, I think this is a really clever kit. I think when you look at going into detail, Hummel have done an absolute monster sort of like representation of Sunderland with this one. So 1989-91 away kit inspiration, they've taken that, they've got all like this new sort of blue, red, white. It looks a bit like Rangers, but I can see where they're going with this. It's a very, very blue, white, and red sort of theme. But as you can see at the bottom here, like just at the bottom of the actual like 3x3 that I've got on the left-hand side of the screen, they've got like the stripes going through with the red and the white. They've got like this really nice, I can't remember what you'd call that, but the sort of like isometric dotted pattern that they've got on the quarter zip. Really like it. I really like the colour pattern they've gone with. And then what they've got, there's loads of history to this. So they've got the Rocker Beach Lighthouse through sea sculpture, it's called, as like their actual like checkered pattern. So in the background of each one of the darker like checkers, you can actually see the lighthouse and then the pattern coming out from there, which looks really cool. They've also got the City by the Sea lyrics from the Lake Poets, which is also on the, I think it's on the inside of the actual shirt itself, or maybe on the reverse. And then also they've got the 93-72 ship crest, which they had from last year as well, which also sits on there too. So as you can see on this shirt, I think the WW88 logo in the middle, the Hummel logo, the Sunderland badge, the blue checkeredness of it, the actual pattern behind the darkness of each checker. They've got the actual like woven poem in the back of it. I think this kit has been so well thought out, it would be an injustice not to give it close to gorgeous. So I'm going to put it as the highest one in the nice category. I think it's really well thought out. I actually really like the look of it. The colours pop, it matches with the badge, and the badge itself just looks really clean. I think the Sunderland logo is going up there. The Sunderland have come through with some pretty nice shirts in the past few seasons, and especially this year, coming back to the Premier League, they are showing out. So, I need to click on here. Nope, I need to click on here. There we go. So next up, we have Spurs. Now, Spurs, I actually don't have any pictures for, so we'll have a look at West Ham at Ward-Prowse for now. But Spurs above me, this black sort of like, as you know, I don't even think you can see it. It is checkered a little bit, but it's all black checkered look. So the white line of the lining of the checkeredness had gone through. Very basic one. Spurs, I think is pretty okay. It's a bit naff. I'll put it at the top of naff. I don't really see much about it. There's nothing really. They could do so much better, Spurs. Let's just put it that way. They're not really doing themselves any favour with this, like not having much history behind what they've got in there. So let's just see where they stand in the future. But for me, this black checkeredness is not really up there, which leads us on to the West Ham kit, which again is a bit basic again. It's just so basic. White all round. Same as the home kit, which was just like that, you know, claret colour. Again, I'm not really seeing much about it. They've compared it to the 96-97 kit, away kit. I don't know if I've got a picture of it. I haven't. But that was like an off-white. This one's like I can't tell if it's just the colouring on that poster, but above us it just looks white. Again, I'm not really excited by this whatsoever. This, again, is naff. I think it's really naff. I'm going to put it probably the highest of naffs, if that's a compliment in any regards to that. I think I will bring down this Burnley kit just for now. It makes more sense. I think it fits within this category more so than it does in the category above. But I think that's where it needs to land. And then last but not least, just so I can try and summarise this video quickly, we've got the Wolves kit, which is this turquoise one. The architecture of the Molyneux is sort of zigzagged across. It reminds me of the Chelsea home kit. I'm not really, you know, I'm not that keen on it. And it, again, this is what I try and say, when they try and like put people with jeans on with a shirt next to it, it doesn't come through. I think Sudo have done a good job of their home kit. This one, again, not really up there, not really down with this one. It looks a bit of an interesting colour. I don't know how Wolves and turquoise really go, but I can see where they're coming from with it. So I'll put it in decent. I think it sits at the bottom of decent, just below the United one, but that is my kit. They're my kits for the year. I think City's kit is gorgeous. I'm very jealous of this all black metallic kit. I think it looks so nice. And then also, on the opposite spectrum, we've got the Brentford kit, which has the gold metallic sort of look to it. Not as embossed as a City one, but the gold metallic look to it with the B-wing pattern, which I really like. And then the brown offsets it really nicely with the collar. I think it looks so smart. Then we've obviously got the nice... I think I'm happy with my selections actually. The nice category with like the way that Sunderland have come through. Arsenal, we've got Chelsea's, Leeds and Crystal Palace. Everton, Liverpool, Villa, Forest, United and Wolves all sitting decent. NAF is Burnley, West Ham, Tottenham and Newcastle, which is and then Burn. I don't even want to say Brighton's name really, but that's all. So thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy this video, again, please leave a like, subscribe if you are new, comment down below, again leave some more comments. I saw people left quite a lot of comments last time, so please leave comments again. Let me know what you think of this sort of, you know, away kits and what they think of these. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. As ever, I hope you're all well, and I shall catch you in the next video. Thank you for watching and see you soon. From me, Alex, have a great day. Ciao.